Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Boise State Tactical, the podcast where we break down the film. We actually talk about, Boise State and what they're doing on the field. I've got two past players here with us. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. TJ?
All right, my name is Ricky. My name is TJ Acree. I'm accompanied by Ricky Tjongatjoe, wide receiver from 2000 to 2004. Scored some touchdowns, had a lot of fun. Very foundationally building years to what we've all enjoyed and experienced for a long time. It's now 2025, so happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. My name is Ricky. Ricky Tjongatjoe, defensive line. Played from 2010 to 2013. No, 2009, 2013. Played defensive line in the Kellen Moore era. There it is. Excited to be here.
So we're going to break down the Air Force game, the recent one here. We're going into App State tomorrow, so we're all excited for that. And we're going to look back at some of these past games to figure out if we're going to be doing very good or not so much. So the first clip I want to bring up here, we're just going to kind of jump through it in order of the game for the most part. So we've got some clips from offense, some clips from defense. We've got an offensive player, a defensive player here, so we want to hear a little bit of both of you guys' takes on what you're seeing on both sides of the ball.
All right, let's do it. Can I say one thing, though? This Air Force game, you see that the biggest thing they're trying to get done here as Air Force whole offensive scheme is they want to get your defensive players to get out of their comfort zone. So everything they're doing, all the misdirection, is just so you're second-guessing yourself. That's how they make their plays. So the keys to this thing is having your eyes in the correct place. That's
Being
why
disciplined with those eyes.
Yeah, that's important. That's why a majority of the DB play, our guys getting ran by is because they don't have their eyes in the right spot because they're also too worried about the balls getting ran up their throat. So
yeah. Going into this game, they were talking a lot about eye control. A lot of the coaches and everything were saying, that's what we're honing in on practice, making sure we're all looking at the right spot. And when we do see a miss on these plays, I would love for some of you guys to break down, like, what were they looking at when they should have been looking here, stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So let's watch this first one here. So we're starting with just a wide open break here, it looks like.
I like the hustle, man. I like that he didn't give up.
Me too. In the FSU game, that was a big complaint of a lot of the fans is they were kind of giving up halfway through the plays, and coaches didn't like that, and we didn't like that. So it seems like these last two games we've seen a big change in that, and that play right there is a perfect example. It could have been a touchdown, and at first it got called a touchdown, but they actually called it back, and Irby actually ended up stopping that touchdown. So
nice. Really
great hustle by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the defense turning that corner, right? Because, you think of the mindset of a football player or any athlete, and it's like, man, if you're in the mindset of giving up, that's pretty low level, like, confidence in existence. Not trying to talk smack. But then, it's like you kind of graduate to at least being able to give effort through the whole play, even if you're wrong, right? And that's a huge, like, mental strength thing. And so, one step in the right direction there, and then that confidence turns into, getting hands on the players that you want to get hands on to instead of, worrying about what's going on. What I did see throughout this game a little bit from the defense is just uncertainty, right? And then instead of being the, because on defense, you want to be the aggressor as well. You want to be setting the tone. And I saw a lot of reactivity during this game. And I think the defense has probably put in a lot of work this week to get more on the aggressive, proactive side of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and going into App State, I'm curious to see what the DBs look like because as Ricky was saying, the main goal of Air Force is to kind of fool you up a little bit and hit you with the run, play, again, and then pass you right over the top when you kind of get lulled into a false sense of security and blocking that run.
Right.
With App State, they really are a pass type team. They don't really run it all that often, and their pass is definitely their strength. Their QB is coming from LSU, so great QB coming in, and I'm kind of curious to see, when they're not playing a team that they're so concerned with the run, how do they respond and what do they look like in that environment? I think this is going to be a really telling game for the DBs.
I can tell you this though. I played against Air Force, and that was the biggest concern. Is just getting through Air Force. So I think right now they feel like a feeling of relief, and now it's time to cut loose because you have to change your whole entire defense to play Air Force. You got to make sure that your defensive linemen are going down the line of scrimmage instead of going upfield. Upfield. You want to extend the run as much as you can. And then you want to just run to the ball as much as you can and not get got by those over the top, to play action, throw it over the top. So they got out of the game with a win.
Yeah.
So I think now if we're looking at App State, I think they're gonna forget about this game and just say, hey, we're here to rock. I know we can get to the quarterback and we can cover. And it's also on the defensive line to protect your DBs. Because I mean, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball, the more time he gets, the harder it is for the DB. And also, being a DB is also the hardest position in football. I think it's hard for you to backpedal and cover and react to everything that's happening. So I think it's going to come down to our defensive line and our box to just make sure that we put that pressure on that quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm curious on that too because we haven't really seen the sacks that we saw last year from our defensive line. Last year they were really kind of notorious for sacks, and this year we really haven't seen that much. But this quarterback that we're going against is more of a pocket passer. So I'm curious to see if we get some good sack numbers. I think we'll see a pretty big change in how the defensive line looks rushing him. But yeah, so let's break down this play.
So, hey, the biggest thing I want you to notice here on this defensive line is they're all in this Air Force protection stance, right? Look at that. They're not very spread out. They're just making sure that they're able to go side to side, so left to right, to make sure that they can play this run scheme. So that by itself is going to not give you a great pass rush start, right? Because you're in a position where you're more worried about this run. But then once you do notice it's a pass, which you notice that by the offensive line popping up, right? They're standing up instead of coming at you. Yeah, you need to transfer that, that first few steps into a pass rush, which it's a lot easier said than done, because you are playing that run. You're worried about, okay, coach has been stressing me all week. If they give you a run fit, you need to be there because if not, we're going to get, the running back's going to run it down our throat for 60 yards.
Yeah.
So
one thing I've seen a lot is the defensive line actually doing a lot of shifts this game. I would love for you to talk about that. What are they trying to do with those shifts? Are they just trying to get between blockers or set up double blocks?
So right now, pre-snap, the offensive line is talking to each other and saying, hey, okay, you got this guy. This is what we're doing. You got this double team.
Like that right there.
Yeah, they got it locked in. Now you moved, so now their blocking scheme changes. So that allows the defensive line to be a little more successful because you might get a miscommunication or somebody's missing a block. But also, the biggest thing is with Air Force and the way they play is you want them to get them into a long distance situation. So a 1st and 15 is going to be harder for them to get the first down because they like to run the ball. So if they run the ball 3 times on 1st and 15, and even if they get a good gain of 5 yards, now you still have another 10 yards to go. So that the movement is called a stem, and it can help draw the offensive line offsides, get that free 5-yard, put them back. Now they have to throw the ball, which that's not their comfort zone.
Okay. So we'll slow it down here so we can kind of break it down a little bit more. So you got this guy in motion. And the guy that's actually going to, I think, make this catch is this guy right back here, this running back, I believe.
Right. Okay, so if you look at everything that's happening, everybody's stepping up. So the entire defense is playing the run. So you notice how they play the run is our linebackers, the 3 linebackers are stepping up hard because they're worried about, okay, either the running back or the quarterback is going to run this. So I need to be in a position to play that. So by doing that, that actually allows, 21 and the 3 receivers up there, they're running right past the linebackers.
Yeah, and one thing on this play specifically and a lot of other ones is, if we go to the end of it, we see Irby's the guy getting beat on that. And a lot of talk this year about Irby. It seems like a lot of times when we're getting beat over the top, he's the guy that's kind of behind him, you know. And I think a lot of fans are saying, you know, Irby needs to be swapped out. And I think sometimes that's true. Sometimes he is a little bit behind. But, for instance, in this play here, yeah, he's the guy chasing. However, if we watch what's going on over here, these two wide receivers actually do a cross route. They cross over each other. And our two DBs actually run right into each other.
Yep.
So we got Irby right here, and then we got another guy coming in. And unfortunately, that just slows down Irby just enough. He actually does a good job of spinning off of that and trying to get back with him. Right. But he just, you know, after running into your own guy, you can't really keep up.
And can we reverse that just a little bit? There you go. Nice. I like that. And so I guess this is what I'm talking about, proactive versus reactive. You know, I know that 21, he's got a job to do in getting out there, and you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think the most confident safeties and DBs that I've faced were always trying to get hands on me and disrupt in some way if they had the chance to. You know, as a wide receiver, if I'm running right past a linebacker and he's not doing shit, I'm like just
slow
saying
you down.
Thank you. Yeah. You know, and so again, I feel a confidence thing, but we see 21 running into Irby, right? Because I just feel like the just in more reactive mode, and we've all been there, right? It's like, you know, when you're in like baller mode and like you're calling the shots, and then you know when you're in follower mode and you're like, oh shit, I'm just trying to keep up. Right. And so this game is so mental, and being prepared mentally, you know, on the knowledge of who you're playing, I think gives a lot of legs to your confidence. And you know, it's so easy to see at a much slower pace and everything like that. But my whole point is, back it up just again. 21 here, you know, he does have to focus on his guy, but there's no doubt that the outside wide receiver is coming in to give him a rub. I feel like even a defensive line type of just jab is going to get two things. Right. He's going to, number one, he's going to slow down that guy. Maybe that guy's the one doing the spin move instead of Irby doing the spin move off of his own guy in white. Mm-hmm. And number two, that I don't even know what the physics term is, but basically that reactive charge that he would get from putting hands on is going to push himself back up the field, which is where he's trying to get in front of this tight end, who you know he's faster than.
So you're saying basically cut between these guys and give him a little bump on the way, a little shoulder rub.
Yeah, and I mean, I know he has to stay deep, but again, he's running into a guy anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't help to run.
He's running into a guy anyway. You might as well run into one of their guys that's going to bounce you the direction that you want to go, instead of run into our guy, which is going to bounce you the direction that you don't want to go. And now you see him working hard to try and catch up there.
Yeah, and really, they could have gone to either of those guys and probably completed that.
Yeah.
One thing I do like about this, as far as DBs are concerned, we see Benefield back here at safety. And as this is going on, he sees this guy cut out wide open, and he does a great job of picking him up and being right on him.
Right.
And again, 43 here, who I like his play and I like his motor. But if you back it up again, this guy who's catching the ball, 21, if we get back, who did he run by without any hand on him?
Yep.
This dude, 43, he actually had to move out of the way, you know what I mean, to not get hands on. And so he's a bigger guy than 21. A hand right there slows him down. Shoulder might fuck the whole play up.
But that's the byproduct of the scheme that they run.
Yeah.
Because if you go all the way back, if you look at the formation and the overload to the right side, all the linebackers and the safeties are thinking, hey, they're going to run it this way, especially with that motion coming in, number 8 coming in across. Mm-hmm. They're working now, okay, I need to get to my gap and not get blocked. So they're not trying to put hands on anybody because they need to get in the position for them to either play quarterback.
They're trying to get in the backfield.
Right, so
Yeah.
they can make this play on this run, which then they realize, oh, snap. it's not a run, it's a pass. But by then it's already too late.
Yeah.
So in a perfect situation, like TJ was saying, you would have 43 or linebackers put hands on any of those receivers just to slow them down to give the safeties a chance to recover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's just a lot to think about, right?
sure.
It's like, man, they've been trying to block us, so I'm trying to shed blocks all the time. But I mean, it's those minor millisecond differences that make great players, right? And I'm not saying that any of these players aren't great players, but there are things that people know what to do. It's like, hey, this
Just
dude is not,
instinctively.
this dude is not blocking me. He's trying to get out of here fast. Like, I gotta use this big ass arm that I've worked out in the gym, for all summer and everything like that. And so, I mean, I'm just gonna keep going back to the fact that it's such a mental game, and that's the decision making skill and confidence that you have to have for every single moment is just so much higher than I think anybody really realizes.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think especially in this game, all the things that you've been building as a football player and how to be a effective and dominant football player kind of gets thrown out the window because they play an awkward style of offense where, we don't need you to be that guy and just be instinctual. We need you to just do your job every single play and let everybody else do their job as well. Because we don't want you to be that guy right now and read something that you're not supposed to read, because that's going to take you out of your fit and then everybody's screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
One person doesn't do their job. That's the guy that's open that makes the play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. But I'm glad we got out the win. That's a good
For sure.
good thing.
Yeah. Going back to the hustle, man, like Irby chases this guy down, and he doesn't even just tackle him. He actually goes for a strip here.
Yeah, as
And
he should.
I was really impressed by that. I love seeing strip balls and peanut punches and stuff. Like, that's so fun.
You never know. That's the thing. It's your last ditch effort. Like you punch that out and it goes out in the end zone and out of bounds. That's a touchback. You just saved the whole play.
Yep. And they ended up calling this back and claiming this guy, his knee's down before he actually passes the thing. And he ended up being down at the 1.
And you get another play, and you can figure out a way to make it happen on that play. So that's great, man. I love to see that. That's big. I think that's the big difference in a championship team and an average team is like plays like that.
Yeah,
for sure. So let's go to this next one here. This is another defensive play. You can see when they point up. Do you know what that would mean, or is it?
He's guessing right now that it's probably going to be a pass play.
That's what I was thinking.
Because he's like, he probably noticed either a stance on the offensive lineman or a formation where he's like, I think it might be a pass. So he's saying, yo, pass, just to let everybody know. But they're still going to play run because it's Air Force.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this one does end up being a pass.
Right.
Now, this one, it's funny. Shenander, after in the post-game interviews, he says there was one play that was all on me. Like, it wasn't any player. It was just a bad play call. And he's like, I wasn't sure about it, so I ended up just going, playing the run. But I think this might be the one he's talking about. And one reason I say that is we see the linebacker here actually goes in for a really hard pass rush. And this guy that normally would block him runs right by him, and they end up swapping assignments here on the offensive line.
Yep.
And that's the guy that's wide open. So we'll watch it one more time, and then we'll watch it in slow-mo, and we'll really be able to see that more.
Yeah, I think plays like that is just schemed up, man. They brought a lot of heat on at the linebackers. There were 2 linebackers that blitzed, so that means somebody's going to be free, right?
For sure,
or at least for a small period of time until the coverage gets there.
Yeah, I think this was just a scheme mismatch basically.
Oh man, they brought 3.
If this guy had fallen back with him, I think that would have changed his play quite a bit. And I have a feeling this was one of the ones that Shenander was talking about, but
so
right past him, wide open.
yeah, they brought a lot of guys. That's the play you're supposed to make as a quarterback, though.
For sure, yeah.
You notice that everybody in the box basically came.
When you don't got time, you go to your check down, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he just had to throw it out there. He knew that's a good heads up play by the quarterback. He just I counted their 3 linebackers going, so my guy's gonna go out and I'm gonna throw it to him.
Yeah.
So
this one, if I remember right, this is one where Benefield comes all the way across the field and stops him. This is a 2-point conversion, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, different one. This was the touchdown.
Yeah.
So this guy pretty wide open on this touchdown, and I was trying to figure out exactly what left him so far open. And I noticed like 7's pretty far up there. I feel like he's really the only guy I can see probably wanting to cover that guy. That might have supposed to have been on him, but let's watch it in slow-mo and watch some of these DBs.
TJ probably has a good scheme concept of it, but I just think it's eyes, right? This is a heavy, to me, this looks like a heavy run formation. So you as a safety have now responsibilities as well as to feel whatever happens. If they hand the ball off, you got to be there to tackle.
So we got this guy coming through, and you'll see both of them jump on him, which I don't know if that's fully necessary. Right. And then we got a third guy also kind of covering him. So we got three guys on him.
Yeah. So again, back to the reactive nature of things, right? Coach probably saw, hey, why did nobody get their hands on 21 last time? So now we got two dudes like, I'm definitely getting my hands on this fool.
Right.
But it doesn't take two, right? It just takes one. And so I'm thinking that 88, the guy who ends up catching this is the guy from the left side over there.
He's right here. He actually does like a fake block and then bounces out. Like he like does a little push and then lets him go and runs his route. Which is a great play. I mean, you know, it convinces the DBs that he's not in the pass play.
Right. Yeah.
And then he pops out. But what I'm seeing here is like number 7 that we were talking about, he's not one of those three guys. Right? He's over here. This guy over here actually ends up crossing and being the guy in the corner with Irby. And Irby does a good job of staying on him. So 7 backs up, and he's right back here pretty much in his zone, I believe. And as this guy pops out, like he's running right towards him, you know. And if he's in zone coverage, like that's your zone. Like I feel like he should be the guy that's jumping on him.
Right.
And I assume he stays forwards because he's worried about this guy running for it, and he's wanting to try to be able to stop that. But, you know, there's a couple other guys before him that could get the quarterback. I feel like he needs to be on 88 there.
7.
Yeah, 7.
Can you back it up? Just keep going till when he scrambles. So 5 is who got blocked, and then he sheds and goes. I've got to go back to, 5 here getting his hips down, man. I mean, I'm coaching 10-year-olds right now in flag football, and the principles, they never change, right? If we go back, it's like he kind of has him dead to rights, and I think that he can make that play with a little bit more, and it's tough, right? You think you're there, you throw that hand out thinking that you're there, but the disciplined way to go is get those hips low so that you can make that angle that he just couldn't make, right? He was just too high.
Yeah, that drill where you run around the hoops, right?
Right. I honestly think he did as best as he could, but I think it's really just 43's. 43, if you go back, he tried to go inside of the blocker, the fullback.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Yeah, right there. He should have been keeping his outside arm free and staying outside of that guy. Then he would have been outside contained.
Agreed.
That'd have been an easy sack right there. So also he got knocked down, which that's part of it. You got to stay on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
But right here,
and that was a tough one because he pushes. He does a good job of getting through this guy, but then this guy just kind of makes him trip right over him.
Right. If you go all the way back to the beginning of the play, right here when he's coming off, he needs to
shoot wider.
He needs to be wider. He needs to keep that outside arm free so he can be pushing himself and create that fence for number 5. Because if 43 was at the level of the quarterback, then number 5 would have had an easy sack. But
because he would have stopped him from scrambling.
From going out that way.
Yeah.
So that's a little stuff like that. I think that's what I was saying earlier. Like the defensive line needs to help out the DBs. Because that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot going on. But if we would have had
he's working harder than he has to,
right,
to not get the job done,
right. And I like the physical play. I mean, he put him on his butt, but the offensive player still won because he got him out of his
right
alignment.
into him too.
Right,
it's not like he's trying to hit the outside.
Right here. Instead of putting his body inside, he should have just put himself out kept going outside, he would have got it. But
That was a good move. I mean, Five is trying hard. Can we take it back one more time to the beginning of the play? And I have to point out 21 again. The safety is down. Again, he in 43. Ricky, you just mentioned 43. You know, they're both kind of coming right here. 21 is a little bit in the way for 43 to stay outside. But even more than that, back it up again. You know, we got number 21 for Air Force in blue coming over here, getting down on the line. We got 21 in white. And again, he's having to – I know his eyes are on the quarterback and whatnot, but take it back. Dude, a forearm shiver, you know what I mean? A right shoulder jab.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A right shoulder. Like, if this man smashes 21 right here, who just like down, he just missed him by an inch. You know what I mean? Now he's now taken out 3 guys. 21 took out 3 guys out of that play, where he could have been taken out by he could have been taken out himself by our 21 here, right?
Just by throwing a shoulder on the way in.
Throw a shoulder.
And 21, after he has time to do that. He ends up just sitting here, kind of watching, making sure he's not going to scramble.
I think 21 is in a quarterback spot, but right here, he needs to just pull the trigger and go get him.
Yeah.
That would have been my thing. But also, I don't know what exact technique he's playing. That's just us trying to figure it out. But I think he's playing quarterback spot.
I think so too.
Yeah, so at some point he got to say, all right, we got a short field. I know my guys can get to it. We're on the 3-yard line. Like, go get them.
Yeah, and as far as this guy being open, I feel like when he starts popping out, really the only guy that's sitting there in zone is this guy right here, number 7.
And he got,
and he's just too far up. I think he was so concerned with the quarterback running it that he moved up to try to make sure he could block that. But your first responsibility as a DB is the wide receiver that's in your zone.
Right.
So
well, and I mean Benefield may have been the left linebacker,
over here.
Yeah, he could have been and probably was responsible for 88.
And then he follows.
But he got taken out by 21 getting those hands on.
Yeah. I feel like we definitely didn't need 3 guys on him.
Yeah, I think the linebacker was probably just realizing that he had somebody going across, and then that's that they teach, right? You got somebody going across, you got to widen them out to slow it down. So that's what he was doing, but might just be was it zeros. That was his guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, man, it's Air Force.
yeah, eye control, man. It's. I mean, they're tricky. That's why I think Boise State every year, no matter how good Boise is and how bad Air Force is, we still struggle with them. It's just, it's a completely different style.
I agree with that, but I mean, even back, back to Ricky's time playing there. I saw him inflict punishment, inflict pain every play, right? He was always hitting the quarterback or hitting the running back, one of the two.
Right. He was just telling us earlier that's why he played. He loved inflicting pain.
Yeah, same. And I mean, but that's the point. It's what do you do with intellectuals? You beat them up. And so, especially on a football field.
Right.
And so all that I'm saying is one thing. I think that for whatever reason, Boise State defense has gotten a little psyched out by all of that and gotten a little hesitant, or instead of just where you can hit, right? If you get the opportunity to hit somebody, then make it happen. Don't take yourself out of position by any means. Right. But there are so many places. And I remember when Air Force was beating us, I'm watching as a fan, just man, he's pitching it and, getting maybe a little paw on him or something like that. It's bro, you got to make them pay for this risky stuff that they're doing. It's not risky to them if we don't punish them at every opportunity.
Right. Also, let me tell you a little fact that I found out. When I played against Air Force, they weren't allowed to be heavier than 240 pounds, I believe. But I think they changed the rules, and their O-linemen are now 300-some pounds. So it was a little easier.
That was a rule?
Yeah. Because
they were in the Air Force, so they had to
because they had certain rules. But now they changed the rules as offensive linemen and try to be more competitive and say, hey, you can now be a big body, and they'll I don't know if they make any type of
now they
changes.
got the drone flyers. They're just the guys.
Right. So they don't need to get in the actual plane. Yeah. So I think I hear what you're saying. Like that is the big key to beating the Air Force is, hey, I'm not worried about who has the ball. I worry about what my job is, and I'm gonna put a hit on them because they're faking that he's running the ball, so you can't say it's a late hit.
Yeah.
I saw him carry the ball, so I'm gonna smack him. If he's a running back, that's what I'm gonna do because he gets tired too. He doesn't want to get hit for no reason.
Right.
That's not his thing. I feel like the quarterbacks. Normally, what do they say? If you get 3 big hits on them, like they're out of the game.
Shut down.
Yeah, they're not. They don't want to do that. But I mean, that's an Air Force quarterback, so he's used to the playing style. But still, he's not gonna be happy by getting hit.
For sure.
So
cool. So this next one, another defensive play here.
yeah. That's my thing. One thing I tell my defensive lineman all the time is like, bro, that's no need to jump at all. That's what we just said, right? I want to get three hits on my quarterback. You jumping in the air is not making any difference in his throw necessarily.
Hitting him,
you rather run through him, hitting him. He's gonna be more. It's gonna be a bigger impact on his next throw or the next decision that he makes than you trying to jump and swat the ball down.
Yeah, and I think jumping, like in this instance, he's almost jumping to try to like stop him from throwing because he sees him pulling back. But it's like, man, if you hit him, even if he gets that ball off, it's probably not going to be accurate. You know?
Right. But it's reactionary, right? He's trying to do a good job. 219, but right here, if you just said, okay, I see it. And I'm gonna just go tackle.
Yeah, just lay into him.
Yeah, even if he shakes him,
I agree.
And again, I have to go back to, who's driving, right? Like in that example, the quarterback is driving. He's like, hey, do what I want you to do.
Right.
Instead of like, oh shit, like you're gonna hit me
to make him jump.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, oh, like you just want to be the one influencing things, and 19 right there, he got influenced.
Hey, but to be honest, also like the main thing that the coaches tell number 19 is just don't let him go outside. So he did cut him back inside, which is good. True. I mean, he did have his job. I mean, he's just getting it done. But that's one thing I wouldn't jump.
But again, we're getting back to, and I think this is a good conversation to have. I think it's so easy for us fans to see the bodies and everything and the muscles and everything that happens. But man, where your eyes are, an inch away from where they're supposed to be can make the difference in a play.
Right.
And I'm saying if his eyes are on this quarterback's midsection and how he's about to destroy him, like he's not really thinking about jumping or anything like that.
So, TJ, you had one insight when we were talking about this play that I thought was pretty good because, as we can see towards the end, the DB gets beat. The wide receiver's wide open. And from the beginning here, the DB's on him, it's this guy right here. He's backpedaling. You can tell he's on the wide receiver. And unfortunately, it goes out of frame, so we're not really able to see what happens. But you had a good thought on why that wide receiver was probably open on the inside. I think you were talking about kind of like the fake to the corner.
Yeah, so yeah, you hit him with the post. I don't know if you back it up just a little bit, it's hard for me to understand. Stop it right there when he gets back into frame. That dude's a good 3-4 yards away from him, and it's not like they're both running. Right, like
it's like he's trying to get back.
Stopped, and so I have no idea what that route was. Maybe like an out to the post.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or something.
And I think it faked him out where he started going wide. Realized, oh, this guy's not going wide; he's going in.
Yeah.
By the time he got back, the ball was already in the air.
Yeah.
And honestly, as a DB, I see a lot of really good DBs get beat by that. When you're ahead of the guy and they're kind of behind you and you're trying to follow their moves still, it's like,
oh yeah,
as soon as you turn your back to them and they make that thing and you turn your back to go to the outside, they cut in. It's like you don't know that till you look back again.
Right.
You know, and one guy, like, if we even play this all the way through to the end, this guy, this whole play is just kind of weak. You know what I mean? The ball is like floating. This guy's jumping up. He comes back. He gets a good hit on him. But what I'm not seeing, and again, this is a different time, but I'm not seeing a killer mentality. Like, I'm not seeing Seven just pissed that he just got this.
Watch this great flop.
Yeah.
So he was trying to get the 15 back.
Yeah. So I can appreciate that.
Good effort there after the
But
play.
I'm saying, like, that whole sequence of events, I feel is a consequence of like social media, right? Screens, like hype, people talking more than doing. And I know I'm getting a little off, but I mean, Wes Nurse comes to mind. This fool, he was so physical as a DB. Like, he knew that, man, even if I just have to work really hard in practice to always be getting hands on people, to always be beating up people. And he was so good. He got a lot of picks. He was just so solid. And what I'm not seeing is, again, killer mentality, especially in this DB. It's a little more reactive. And that just tells me inexperience potentially.
Yeah, a lot of these, not a lot, but probably half at least are fairly new players, sophomores or something, So
and that's good because again, that's like it's like when you got a kid in tackle football for the first time. The first few it's like you don't want to do it, and then there's that one hit that for whatever reason you just become the hammer. And I think just like you just get addicted to it. It's like, all right, that's the most fun part of being out here is just running through people. And I think that, the DBs are probably going to be working on this a lot. I would love to go to practice and just see them drilling each other in combat, right? I mean, I feel like practices have gotten very, very technically.
Yeah, there's a lot of
there's just a lot of like, I would have been there, I would have been there, like. I've seen that get kind of weak.
I think they don't want people to get hurt, so they minimize the full contact, And
I can appreciate it, but even,
But like to your point, if you get used to throwing that shoulder into people every now and then, like I think in practice when it's your own guy and you're just throwing shoulders in him, it's a little bit like, hey man, take it easy on your own guys.
Well,
but it's like you got to get in the habit of doing that.
For sure, For sure, it's got to be second
Right.
nature. And it's interesting because I believe that Wes wore number 21. And as I'm thinking back to it, like, there's no way in hell that he wouldn't have been putting that 21 on that crosser that he had. If he had the opportunity, he would be putting him on his ass if he could. You know what I mean? Just because he was kind of a jerk while on the field. But it's like, man, it's football. And so that's how you get picks.
Yeah.
So we got another defensive play here.
All right, let's see. Let's see what our defensive line is doing. That's a pass. Yeah, I feel like that's a defensive line right there. We needed somebody to at least get some pressure.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's Air Force, right? So you're playing a run right here, putting hands on guys, making sure you're in the right fit, so you don't get got on that dive, and then right now you got to get there. Right here.
Yeah. Pretty clean. It looks like 21 here. He's like their utility guy. He's running back, catching a lot of balls out of the back. But it looked like he motioned out, pushed wide, and then just did a post in between. If we check out DB, he's at the top of the screen. His eyes right now are looking at the quarterback.
Yep.
Okay, go back just a little bit more. Back a little bit more. His eyes are on his guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you can tell the moment. So his eyes are on his guy. He's going. He's just like, again, straight to quarterback right there. He's just a little too much like, hey, let me like figure this out. And while he's trying to figure it out, he's now 2 steps behind. Like, I mean, to be that far away, he's barely in the frame.
Well, and one thing I noticed in this, in the other shot is like, as this guy's running past him, he's not getting up close to him. He's staying wide until the ball's in the air, and it's like he's not going to get back in time,
And so I am seeing a little bit of that. And we see it in football sometimes where you'll see a guy giving a lot of effort after the play's already been made, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, more effort early. And so that's a bad habit that especially defenses can get into. And, man, I'm telling you, these 10, 11, 12-year-olds, I did it with Tyson and with Grayson. The principles are just so the same. It's like, man, do your hard work early,
Right.
and then you don't have to work so hard to save a touchdown later because you're stopping it before it even has a chance to start.
Yeah, and I think one common thing I see in a lot of these clips is just like a little bit of loose coverage. You know, like when they are like even man on man with a guy, they're 2 or 3 steps next to him and not on him, not like, you know, really lockdown type plan. And I think that one's a perfect example. You know, if as this guy's running by him, you know, like he, instead of staying wide and running next to him, he's like right on him.
Yeah.
It's one going to make the quarterback like a little more hesitant to throw to him because he's got a dude right next to him. But also, you know, he's able to make that play a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the term is hip to hip for DBs, right? And upfield hip, right? It's like if we take a look at this picture right here, and I don't know if the audience can see it, but man, it's just, again, giving up so much early to have to work so hard late. And luckily, this was a weak throw, and the guy took himself down.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So let's jump over to offense for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on this play. I watched the defense on this. But you have a linebacker crossing, like the inside linebacker and is it the strong side linebacker right here? The bottom 2 linebackers.
Yep.
Look, they cross. So the middle linebacker goes first, and then 33 goes over the top.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're trying a little stunt to try to open them up.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a stunt like that because I don't think it necessarily works. I think it was just a bad read by 33.
yeah.
Because he's supposed to be in that gap, filling that, but he filled the wrong gap, which he already has somebody in that gap. Your middle linebacker.
Yeah, and then this guy is really just can't make a play because he's out of the play at that point.
Yeah, right.
One thing I love is this block here. This guy kind of gets past the blocker, and the blocker does a really nice job of still giving him a shove to open up that gap.
Yeah.
And then he's able to make the jump cut to get into the gap that, I mean, you can tell he was probably supposed to cut in right here. And this guy was supposed to be blocking him to the inside. But because that doesn't work, he shoves him, and he just makes an awesome jump cut to get around that. So great teamwork there by the blocker and the running back to actually make that gap and get through it.
Yep.
I mean, I will say, like, right here at the end, I know that's a little scary. You got people, like, on your legs. I don't know what year number 8 is.
He's a senior. I think he's like 6th-year senior.
What I'm saying, man, and again, it feels almost team-wide. If you look at 30, I believe, is that safety who is, like, about sitting down. He's very caught off guard. You know, back it up just a couple of steps. From about here, you know what I mean? If this man puts his head toward that guy's chest and just makes him his bitch, you know what I mean? Like, it has that mentality, then he's not getting wrangled and possibly hurt. You know what I mean? It's like
he's trucking through a little bit.
There's no truck at all. He's just kind of giving up.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, but it's just, again, an example of not being the hammer. And for so many years, Boise State we were the hammer when the hammer was like not even big, you know what I'm saying? But just still had that with the West nurses and those type of folks. And so the mentality, and that's something, especially in this day and age, that's really hard to coach, right? Yeah. Like, how do you coach people to be killers?
Finishing a run, that's what you're talking about. But it's also like, it's the mentality of, okay, he's trying to take it to the house. He's trying to get out of here.
Yeah, with this guy especially, he's a smaller back, and he really isn't as physical as like Sire Gaines or even Dylan Riley. Both of them are a little more able to truck through guys. This guy, I've seen him try to truck before, and he just doesn't have the mass to do it really. But he is very good at like jump cutting and getting around people. And I think right here, that's kind of what he was trying to do, is jump cut to the outside of him. And this guy did a good job of stopping it. I like going into this season, I was really excited for Sherrod. You watch his like 2023 highlights because he got hurt in 2024. But his 2023 highlights, man, he was looking pretty good. And he was really good at fitting through little gaps and then just exploding upfield. And coming into the first couple games, what we saw a lot of him doing was kind of like stutter stepping and trying to find the gaps and would never actually turn it upfield. And so he wouldn't get the gains that he needed to be getting. And I do feel like now we're seeing him actually be a little more explosive and make a little more downfield plays. But yeah, I think that, like here, he definitely right about here, he could have started stutter stepping and trying to figure out where am I going and all that. And I do like that he's not doing that as much anymore. Now he's like, all right, I'm just going to go upfield and just try to, make a little bit of a juke.
Right. I don't think it's a bad run at all, but I hear what TJ is saying with finishing the run.
I was just
like
surprised that he went down. I was watching it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, where'd all that momentum go?
Yeah, right at the end, it is an opportunity to lay a hit on the safety. I feel like that's to me, this right here, what he does as a defensive player, I like that because you know what? I'm coming in and running too, and I'm going to smack the shit out of you for trying to do that. But instead, if he would have put his head down and take the safety with him, I feel like that sends a message. I like that type of play. But not every player is that type of player, though.
For sure.
Like, I play with
Doug.
Doug.
If Sire was in there, he'd be trucking through that guy.
Right. I played with Doug. I know Doug Martin would have taken that. He would have taken somebody with him. But, you know, that's also a different type of athlete or a different, he's a lot heavier than this guy. But I hear what you're saying. That's good.
So we got another one here with Malik Sherrod.
Right there.
Good speed.
Once again, tries a little stiff arm, but he just doesn't really have the physicality and the mass like a Sire Gaines or someone to stiff arm him like that.
I like
But
this.
great play, great blocks. The way that those tight ends come over to make those two blocks on the side, I think looks really good.
Yeah, I like the way he read his blocks too.
Yeah, great job finding the gap, seeing they're blocking out. He kind of cuts in.
Yep.
He almost got around this guy, but just not quite.
I wouldn't mind him stepping back on this one.
Do a little hezzy.
Yeah, but that's me though. I never played running back. What do you think, TJ? How would you?
I mean, the first time that I put my forehead through a person, it was like the best feeling that I've ever had. And so I just did it as much as I could all the time.
Oh, okay.
It got me some concussions, I'm sure.
So
This one.
this one's Dylan Riley, and
Yeah, there you go. I like Ben Ford,
yeah,
I've been he's an Eagle kid, and I've been impressed with, number one, his celebrating with his teammates after touchdowns. I always think that's a sign of a true character. Like, he's really happy for him, you know what I mean? And like just having a great time. You only get so many plays and so many games, especially college level, if you don't go on to play pro. It's a limited thing, and making the most of scores and things like touchdowns. I'm seeing him do a great job of that. I'm seeing him do a great job of blocking. He's fast, he's always been fast. But like right here, he's got this guy on the edge, and he does a great job of staying strong.
Well, and this is why I brought up this play in specific, is Ben Ford blocks two guys at once to create that gap. If Ben
What a
Ford,
dog. I like it.
yeah, man, if Ben Ford hadn't been able to block both of those guys, this run would not have happened the way it did. But watch this. He's got two dudes here, pushes one right into the other.
Big dog.
And opens up a gap for him.
I like that.
That's an awesome block.
Oh, he was at the top, huh? Can you replay it?
Yep.
I like that, man.
He comes in motion and just hammers him.
And even so, go back just once. I'm sorry, but we talk about steps. Like, this good block started. Go ahead with that step. You see how he even
The cut in, yeah.
You see how he put some he like put strain on his body. You could tell that was kind of an uncomfortable step. It didn't look super smooth. It was like very kind of jagged. And I mean, I feel like that successful block started at that moment.
It gets him to the angle he needs to get those guys.
Wait, are we talking about 82?
I'm talking about 82. Like, so he takes a step. It's that step right there. Boom. You see,
get up. Yep.
Like he does it with intention, right? Like he could have like swung out and made it a little more parabolic and a little more like good looking and comfortable. But I mean, he set that block, in my opinion, with that step, which gave him the grit, like whatever he needed to actually make it happen.
Yeah, he actually forced the play. He didn't let the defender run up and try to block him with finesse. He actually went out and got it. I feel like honestly that was fantastic. I like the way he got up there and he moved his hips, right? He went that left hip shot upfield, walled it off, and then that defender was
double block just really impressed me. I was like, dang.
The defender, they were not on the same page. As soon as one of the guys is supposed to be inside leverage on Ford and the other one outside, but they both ended up outside. So
and I think part of that was on Ford. I think the guy he covered was supposed to be inside of him, and he did a good job of getting inside and then still making sure he
sealing
took
it
care
off.
of the out guy.
Yeah,
that was a good
impressive
play by Ford there.
Shout out Ben Ford.
Yeah, he's been doing great this season so far. And, I mean, I think I have a couple more of him catching too, but he's been getting open. When he is open, I mean, he's got space all around him. So he's doing some good route running too. So we got another defensive one, it looks like here.
Here we go. Yeah, that was rough. But this right here, this play, this formation, it's the same formation we saw earlier, right? With the two tight end up back guys on the edge of the O line, and then just if you look at the quarterback, the way he turns around, right?
He's might hand it off.
It's a run, right. So you got to respect that. Then we got 95. Shout out Max Steiger. He's German.
Yeah,
my German guy.
All right.
But he needs to be out there a little bit more to make sure that he doesn't get outside of the pocket. So if you rewind it a little bit, so he's right there. He's supposed to. He looked at the quarterback. He's supposed to
slow down and
right here.
Here.
Yeah, he did his job. He did his job by being in the gap, but then once he realized this is a pass, he needs to take his angle outside down the line of scrimmage instead of going upfield first and then try to go down the line of scrimmage. Right here, he needs to realize, he has somebody outside of him, or he's in coverage.
Yeah.
So, he needs to take a strike too.
I think he's just not quite fast enough to catch up to him. But
well, the angle didn't help because he took three yards upfield first.
Well, and again, it's like, does he have, in that play, at that moment, does he have the intention of Ben Ford? Because he could have made a very uncomfortable step, right? That would have hurt his leg a little bit, just like Ben Ford's did. You could tell that jarred his body.
Right.
He could have done that and, paid that sacrifice.
Like coming out right here, boom, really.
Yeah, with that right foot, bam. He's going outside. Everybody knows you got to cut straight across. Continuing to chase him is going to put you in what I would call reaction mode. So, and I've been this way too many times, but it's like you're either worried about the guy and he's got power over you, or you're not worried about it and you've got power over him.
Right.
And it's like, oh shit, he's going to catch me, and then you get caught. Or it's like, oh, he's gone, disregarded, and then you just disregard him. And same thing with him there. He was kind of like, oh shit, I'm trying to catch this quarterback, instead of come here, motherfucker.
Right.
Just
being in the right place. Yeah.
And I do feel like he could have, done that kind of soccer thing, because if you ride it back, that little, he's not little, I'm sure, but 33 or whatever right there, 44. He had him taking that arm and using kind of sweeping 44 and using his momentum to push off. And number two, as soon as you feel 44 coming back there, he's already beat. 44 is getting underneath him. And he could have, again, done that soccer move where you get your hand in front of him to push off of him, which would have gave him more leverage on the actual quarterback. But again, comes back to the mental side of it. He's not thinking how can I win? Like, how can I use these fools to get what I want done?
Yeah,
he's thinking like, oh shit, like I don't want to give up a touchdown.
Right. Yeah, his initial charge should have been right here when he realized, if you go back, when he realized, okay, this is a pass. Right here. So if you stop it right here, pow. He now should have realized, hey, I'm the outside contained player.
Yeah.
Worst thing that I can do is not have my outside contained. But it's also, this is what Air Force does. Right now, he's thinking, this shit might still be a run. So he's thinking, I got to make this run play. Okay? And now he realized, oh, snap, it's not. Now he needs to stop and go exactly through 44 instead of going up 1, 2, 3 steps.
You should have cut straight out.
You should have cut straight out, because then he would have been at a different angle where now the quarterback is worried about him.
Yeah, and I think you guys are both saying the same thing. Like right about here, instead of coming out towards the quarterback, he should have just cut straight out.
Dude, well, you stomp with your right foot, right? You get your hand around the guy. Like, so instead of like, oh, he's got me, right, pinned, he's thinking, dude, I'm like fucking stronger, so I'm going to replace my arm here and kind of push that dude back.
Drop your weight and just push off.
And just use 44 with that. So 44's got his big ass left arm pinned right there. And again, I didn't know this as a sophomore, junior, whatever he is, but it just comes with reps and plays. And one thing that I realized got me open a lot of times was a simple arm replacement.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think a lot of these, details we're talking about are very minute details, and they are things that probably come with experience and just repetition.
Yeah. Right.
And Steege is a kind of a younger guy too, so it'll come.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I bet all the stuff that we're talking about, a majority of that stuff, the coach just told him like, yo, yeah, now you need to transition to this week. So it's part of it. I mean,
at game speed, it's hard to think about all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're just trying to hit.
And that's the biggest thing I want to make sure we convey is like, it's easy for me to sit here and say all this stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, if you pull up clips of when I played, there's a bunch of stuff that I did wrong. So it's not, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody.
Yeah, same. And I remember one play specifically, we were up at Oregon State, and I had just like an under, right? And I came across, and again, I was scared. I was like, oh shit, is he going to tackle me? Oh shit, like this. I was thinking like, oh shit. And simple under, I'm going fast, the ball's coming fast, but I did some type of thing where I dropped the ball. And all that Coach Dan Hawkins said at the time was, hey man, you weren't ready to make that play. And what he meant was like, you weren't mentally ready to make that play. You were reactive. You were hoping instead of being. And so I always like Dan Hawkins for that type of feedback. Because it was real, right? It's like I was hoping that something would happen instead of just being the man who was going to make the play.
Making it happen, yeah.
And that's all I'm saying. Again, like Ricky said, it's easy to watch things at slow motion speed. But we've all been there where it's just like, man, you can't get out of the funk, and you need a homie to either come over and give you a hug or a slap in the face, one of the two, to just shake it up.
Right.
And so, but that's what team is about, you know? And so...
And I mean, when I watched this during the game, the first thing I thought is, why is this guy so far forward? He should be like back on him more, tighter coverage like we were talking about before, right?
Right.
When I was cutting these, and that was one reason I wanted to pull this up, was talk about why is he forward like that. However, as I was cutting this, we see this guy was covering him, and Benefield, he's been doing the best probably out of all the DBs this year. He unfortunately trips, man, and it's like that leaves his guy wide open. Like, what you gonna do? You know? And this guy is just trying to get back to save it.
Yeah, because he was out on somebody else.
Yeah, so it's like,
it's also a really good throw.
It is, great throw, yeah.
He threw it right to drop it in over top of the dude.
And what's crazy is this was Air Force's backup QB. Their lead guy was hurt, and he came in and looked like a pro baller, man. He was killing it.
Dude, I love this angle and that it's in slow motion. Because there's one thing that I could say about somebody who got the ball thrown over their head. And I mean, gosh, he probably thought that he had what was needed to get there.
Right.
But I do feel like, as soon as a ball, you think that it's going over your head, if your immediate step, if we go back, so his immediate step was to continue going straight backwards.
He's like backpedaling backwards.
Ball's out. He could be turning that right hip and opening now.
Mm-hmm.
And play man instead of the ball.
Well,
right?
yeah, exactly. And so he's just preparing to do the easy work, which is just be an athlete and go up there and get it. This is all happening so fast. This is in slow motion.
Super slow motion.
But the point is that we can see through this clip that he could have turned and gone and jumped in the same way or ran through the guy and it not gone over his head.
That would have been my ideal one. I ran through a guy, but because I like to see that. But yeah, man, that's all like hindsight 2020, right?
Yeah.
And once again, like a lot of these DBs, they're not seniors. A lot of them are a little bit younger, so it takes time. But yeah. Now this was the one I think I was thinking about earlier, where he comes all the way across the field, Benefield here, runs over and stops this 2-point conversion. The way he tackles him is what stops this 2-point conversion, because you'll see it looks like he falls forward and almost crosses the line there. But when we see it from this next angle, he gets his body on top of him and shoves him down so that before the ball crosses, he's on the ground.
Yeah, it was big.
That's a big play
just
right
the
there.
technique of that tackle, was really nice.
I mean, honestly, that's the way you want to play this Air Force like run right here. Like everybody was in a position, except for the linebacker could have probably made the play earlier, but that's kind of the thing what you do when you play Air Force. Like you just want to keep them under gaining 3 yards of play. If you can get them to gain 1 to 2 yards 2 or 3 times in a row, you're gonna win that drive. So I feel like that's what they did. Only they were really close to the end zone. So
yeah. Now Benefield, I feel like has a great feel for it, a lot of instincts. You see him, like you said, pick up his foot to just get heavy on him.
Yeah.
He's like, let me get all my weight on this dude. And that happened faster than any adjustment that we've talked about today.
Yeah.
That thing that he did, that happened faster than anything that we've talked about today. So I also want to say, what we're talking about is not impossible to do. It's not easy, but Benefield, who is, like you said, been solid for many years now, he's got that feel for it. And I think that's where we start to talk about, player leadership and, just helping the younger guys understand that stuff.
So they're thinking pass, I assume, from what you were saying earlier.
yeah, it's probably formation wise. There you go, and it is a pass.
Now this is another one where he kind of stays wide. And I kind of feel like right here, he knows that this guy, he's on him. Like he's running man basically at this point. And yet he stays 3 or 4 steps outside of him. And I guess I don't fully understand why he's not just collapsing on him.
Leaning in a little more.
Yeah, collapsing, like even from this point, starting to route inwards to get right up on him.
Well, and again, it's like he doesn't want this dude to take a corner. Like this 21 is pretty shifty.
And this is the guy that ends up catching it.
Right. You got Zero making that initial adjustment, seeing that it's coming back this way, thinking, okay, we're probably running to number 8 right now. Okay, I got 21 coming at me. I'm going to turn my hips.
It's definitely a man coverage too.
Yeah.
I just feel like the coverage, and this is across the board with DBs from what I'm noticing, is like when they are manned up on somebody finally, like whether they're in zone and the guy runs in their zone or they're just manned up from the beginning, it looks the same. They're always just a couple steps away from them throughout this whole man process. When I just, if I'm watching LSU or Ohio or someone, that guy's right on that guy. Like he is crowding him, And something like that, I'm almost wondering, are they being taught to do that? Or is that just something that they're doing in game time, at real speed?
What are you talking about? Not covering as tight? No,
Yeah.
I think they want them to cover tight, I would think, but...
Well, like you were saying, like, is he telling them, oh, maybe watch for him to cut out or whatever, and so they're staying wide to watch for those kinds of things, but then they're too far away to make the play? Like, plays like that make me wonder, because I see it consistently. It's not one player doing it. It's like multiple players, keeping their distance just a little bit.
Until next week.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It was nice
thanks for
talking
having
with you. I'm excited to watch the game tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be back soon with some more footage review and some more banter.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
get it.
So,
Comment, like, and subscribe.
Yeah.
see you guys next time.
All right,
See
go
ya.
Broncos.
Go Broncos.